kindness, our charity, our love, our simple gestures of goodness to one another would go a long way to help them, would go a long way in our Christianity. Happy weekend, Bethanians. So here we are again on our Sunday reflection. And this Sunday we celebrate the 26th Sunday in Ordinary Time, Year B. But before we proceed with our reflection, I'd like to personally thank the people who have contributed to reach our goal of 1,000 US dollars for our ailing priests, Father Jess Pandongon and Father Paeng Delphine. Thank you so much for supporting the cause and for helping out reach our goal. Right now, we have extended the goal to 1,500. To this day, we have accumulated a total of 1,250 US dollars. But of course, that is the gross income. The net income will be total to 1,209.25 US dollars after fees. A million thanks to all of you for contributing and for helping these ailing priests in the Diocese of Calibo. Going back to our Sunday reflection, our readings will be flashed on the screen. Last Sunday, the question that was posed upon us based on the theme and the readings we had that Sunday is, do you want to be great? And I have pointed out 3 criteria of greatness according to the Gospel and according to how Jesus sees greatness and as he taught his apostles about greatness. This Sunday, we have another question to reflect on. And the question is, as we want to be great, how do we foster greatness? Now, the Gospel primarily speaks about membership of the church. The Gospel of Mark would tackle certain questions that maybe a lot of us could be asking our Catholic Christian life. What are those questions? For example, to those of us who may not have been baptized as Catholics, could they be saved? Or those people who may be doing humanitarian things in this world, can they still be saved even though they're not members of the Catholic Church? Now let us stretch this a bit. For example, Mahatma Ghandi. Mahatma Ghandi has been known for the spiritual life that he has been teaching his disciples. Mahatma Ghandi is also known for his noble causes for peace. In fact, he's known for this line, there is no way to peace, peace is the way. But as Mahatma Ghandi is not himself Catholic, will he be right now in heaven? Or will he be in purgatory? Or maybe in hell? What do you think? But of course, as we reflect on this Sunday's theme, it is clear that in the Gospel, Jesus gives certain tolerance to this type of people. To people who may not have been baptized, and yet has expressed in their own way, ways of Christianity, just like Mahatma Gandhi. Even though he has not been baptized as Catholic, he has been known to uphold Christian doctrines and teachings. In fact, he has told Winston Churchill to abide by the laws of the Beatitudes. And he has also followed one of the most difficult teachings of Jesus. What is that? To love your enemies. In fact, when Mahatma Ghandi was rejected in a church in South Africa, though disappointed and frustrated about the treatment, considers and still tells these people that they are his brothers and sisters. Saint Mark in today's gospel points out a balancing way with regards to questions that we have in mind. Because in the Gospel of Mark, he points out that Jesus is appreciative to this type of people. Jesus is tolerant to this type of people. He recognizes their kindness. He recognizes their charity and wonderful works and acts of goodness. In fact, as it is said in the Gospel, anyone who gives you a cup of water to drink because you belong to Christ, amen, I say to you, will surely not lose his reward. So the Gospel, or Saint Mark in this Gospel, is telling us that people are free to be charitable. People are free to express goodness and kindness to one another. And though they may not be Catholic in their own way, their goodness is recognized by Jesus. But for us Catholics, there is no excuse not to be kind, not to be tolerant, not to be good to one another. Because this Sunday, Jesus reminds us that just as we have been baptized into Christ, all the more reason that we are challenged and responsible for our own baptism. Because the baptism that we receive is a mark of Christianity. The baptism that we receive is a sign that we have promised to Jesus that we will also exercise the same offices that he exercised back in his time. And the offices of priests, prophet, and king are our mission too as disciples of Jesus of today. Moreover, Saint Mark also says that Jesus demands from people who claim to be his followers, those people are members of his community, including ourselves, not to pose threat to other people with their bad example. He said, in fact, if your hand causes you to sin, cut it off. It is better for you to enter into life maimed than two hands to go into Gehenna. For all of us today, Jesus demands us no compromise, no easy-going attitude or laxity in judgment and practice. It is either we are with him or we are against him. Now, last Sunday, a statement, a pastoral letter was read throughout the Diocese of Calibo, Bishop Jose Corazon Tala-oc. And the pastoral letter was about exhorting Calibunhons or Aklanons in general, and all Catholics for that matter, to go against the putting up of a casino or a gambling casino in the island of Boracay. And as we have heard, and as that letter was read to all faithful in the diocese, I do believe that that letter is not just simply about information or data. It is a letter that calls forth people to stand against the move for a casino in the island. Because if you love the island, if you love this paradise island in Aklan, then you'll have to take care of it by keeping its wonderful gifts, not to benefit leaders in the government, but rather to help people use the island, the resources of the island, to help most especially the local inhabitants of the place. So as you hear the letter or the exhortation of the bishop, we have to say something. We have to raise our voice against it and maybe do our best in our capacity to voice out our concerns and support the move of the diocese to go against putting up a casino gambling in the island. We love our island of Boracay. The island of Boracay indeed is a gift to us by God. And as it is a paradise, a family destination, we have to take care of it and to maintain its nature as a place to foster our moral values and not a place to demoralize our people out of gambling. Gambling is against our Catholic faith. Gambling in general could even destroy families, could even destroy our own personal livelihood, could destroy relationships, and could destroy our moral values. So as we are called to be members of the Catholic Church, and as we are baptized Catholics, we do not only express our Catholicism by name, but we express it by doing something for our brothers and sisters in charity, in love, and in respect for one another. There is this story, a funny story about a businessman. Feeling very ill, a tough businessman went to see his doctor. After examining him, the doctor backed away and said, "I regret having to tell you this, but you have an advanced case of highly infectious rabies. It appears you've had it for some time. It will almost certainly be fatal." In shock, the man asked the doctor for pen and paper. "Do you want to write your will?" The doctor asked. "No, I want to make a list of all people I want to bite." Well, if you had the chance to do good or evil, which path would you take? Especially in the last moments of your life, what would you do? What would you rather do in the last stages of your life? And maybe right now, that is a fitting question. If, for example, you have been given more like a month or maybe a year or so of your life, what good would you do? How would you exercise your Christianity or your Catholic life? How would you become truly a member of the Catholic Church? So last Sunday we were asked by Jesus of greatness. Do you want to be great? And Jesus has posed his criteria for greatness. And those criteria are good standards for living Catholic Christian life. This Sunday, as we search for greatness, we should also strive to become a wonderful and a good Catholic and Christian at that, by being a true member of the Catholic Church. Our membership is not just by name. Our membership is by doing the acts of God, by doing Jesus' example, by the very lives that we live, by walking our faith, by walking the talk, by walking the teachings of Jesus. There are several ways that we could express our Christianity and Catholic life. But for this Sunday, maybe it would be best for us to maybe look into what's going on around us. Respond to the call of the diocese, for example, to ban casinos in the island, the beautiful island of Boracay. Or maybe to simply donate some amount of money, especially to those who are in need, to those who are raising funds in order to address people's needs and treatments. not to maybe demean or to misconstrue other people's good intention to help. And by trying to be kind to one another, I think that kindness goes a long way. Our kindness, our charity, our love, our simple gestures of goodness to one another would go a long way to help them, would go a long way in our Christianity. God bless us all. For our image or symbol this Sunday, it is the pigs. You could have seen a pigs at some point in your life. Or maybe you have seen this in the church, or seen this from one of the lay Eucharistic ministers as they carry this with them when they give communion to the sick. Now, I find this as a most appropriate symbol we have this Sunday, because when a lay Eucharistic minister, for example, or a priest for that matter, gives anointing to a sick member of a community and gives communion to him or her, that priest or the lay Eucharistic minister extends this sacrament from the church to the respective houses or hospital or hospice where the sick member of the community is staying or is resting. So there we see the continuity of the sacramental life of the church, from the church all the way to the hospital or the homes or the respective homes. And so the communion that is being divided, or the host that is being divided at Mass, is then brought to the sick and is extended to them, telling them that you are a cherished member of the Catholic Church, and here is the communion that you can partake in remembrance and in commemoration of the very sacrament that we have received at Mass on Sunday. So, as Jesus calls us to be a true member of the Catholic Church, not just by name, but also in deeds or in action, so may we remember it through this symbol or through this image. May the pigs be a living reminder that Jesus calls us to extend the very call for charity and love from the church at Mass down to our homes, to the hospitals, to the outskirts, to those people who are in need of our help, so that our Catholic life and Christian life be expressed concretely by our actions, not only by our words. Till next time, Bethanians.